What if your past is not behind you? What if it's happening right now? What if every thought you have is opening another universe? What if your future self is desperately trying to contact you, and you've been ignoring it? What if time isn't a line, but a living field you can step into? What if your greatest destiny already exists, waiting for you to align with it? And what if today, you finally learn how to bend time? Time. The one force every human believes they are trapped inside. From the moment we wake up each morning to the moment our head hits the pillow at night, we live inside a story that we didn't consciously write. I'm too late. I'm running out of time. My chance has passed. These are the silent beliefs that shape our lives. And yet, most of us never question them. We accept time as a prison, when in reality, time is a frequency, a field, a dimension of consciousness that responds to us more than we realize. But the problem isn't just our misunderstanding of time. It's that we have forgotten who we are inside of it. In a world driven by deadlines, aging fears, past regrets, and future anxieties, we move through life fragmented. Our minds live in yesterday. Our hearts live in tomorrow. And our bodies are stuck carrying the weight of every timeline we refuse to release. The result is a deep, invisible suffering. We call it stress. We call it overwhelm. We call it burnout. But beneath all of those labels is something more fundamental: temporal disconnection. We are out of alignment with the timelines that belong to us. Listen to this story. A woman named Maya once wrote to me after watching a video about quantum timelines. She was 47, recently divorced, financially broken, and convinced she had wasted her best years. Her words were heavy. "My life is over," she wrote. "I'm too late to become the person I always wanted to be." She believed her future was a shrinking doorway that had already closed. But she was wrong. And so are you if you believe something similar. We tell ourselves we're too old to start. Too young to be taken seriously. Too behind. Too stuck. Too damaged by our past to create a future that feels like freedom. But the truth is this: you are not late, you are simply misaligned. Our problem isn't the passage of time. Our problem is the identities we've constructed around it. Quantum physics teaches us that time doesn't flow, it emerges. It unfolds from consciousness. It is generated moment to moment by the observer. And spirituality teaches that you are that observer. The creator. The center point of perception. But society doesn't teach you that. Society teaches you that time is rigid, linear, and outside your control. And so you live in fear of it. You obsess over it. You chase it. But you never learn to work with it. We grow up hearing phrases like, "Time heals all wounds," but nobody teaches us how we heal time. Nobody teaches us how to release the past, redirect the future, or reclaim the present. Nobody teaches us that every moment is a fork in the quantum field, branching into infinite possibilities. So here is the real problem. We live as passengers in a vehicle we were born to drive. Imagine if you discovered that every version of you, every potential self, already exists in the quantum field. The successful you. The healed you. The fearless you. The abundant you. All of them waiting for you to tune into their frequency. Discovering this truth isn't the challenge. The challenge is believing it long enough to act on it. That is the problem we are here to solve. And that is why the Chrononauts, those who learn to move through time consciously, are rewriting the rules of reality. The discovery didn't arrive in a flash of lightning. It didn't come from a guru on a mountain or a scientist in a lab coat. It came quietly, like a whisper moving through the fabric of reality. It came from ordinary people realizing extraordinary truths. It came from individuals who sensed that the world around them was not as fixed, predictable, or linear as they were taught. It came from the moment someone thought, "There must be more," and the universe responded, "There is." For many, the discovery begins with inexplicable experiences. A thought about a person moments before they call. A feeling that something will go wrong, and then it does. A dream that later unfolds in real life. A sudden shift of luck that seems engineered by an unseen force. Most people shrug these off as coincidences. But a few recognize them as cracks in the illusion, glitches in the matrix, evidence of a deeper structure beneath what we call time. And then, there were the Chrononaut experiments. Not official, not scientific, but deeply human. A group of seekers began testing a radical idea: what if time responds to intention? What if focusing on a future version of yourself could pull you toward it? What if healing a memory could actually change the trajectory of your life? What if identity wasn't backward defined by the past, but forward defined by the future? One experiment became legendary. A man named Daniel spent most of his adult life stuck in a cycle of fear. Fear of failing. Fear of succeeding. Fear of disappointing his family. Fear of becoming irrelevant. For years he tried to fix the past so he could feel ready to step into his future. But every year, he remained the same. And then one day, he did something different. Instead of trying to rewrite his past, he tried to reach his future. He closed his eyes, breathed deeply, and imagined a version of himself who had already succeeded. Not vaguely, not casually, but with absolute clarity. He imagined the office he worked in, the relationships he built, the inner peace he radiated. He imagined how he walked, how he spoke, how he made decisions. And then something strange happened. He felt that future self looking back at him. He felt a connection like a magnetic pull across time. And over the next 24 hours, small, impossible coincidences began guiding him toward that version of reality. Quantum physicists call it retrocausality, the idea that the future can influence the present. Spiritual teachers call it alignment. Mystics call it timeline shifting. Daniel called it the day everything changed. What if the key discovery is this: you are not moving through time, time is moving through you. You are the generator of the timeline you live in. Your beliefs project into the field, your emotions charge those projections, and your actions anchor them into form. When you change the observer, you change the observed. When you change your state, you change your fate. Another truth revealed itself: the universe doesn't respond to who you are, it responds to who you believe you are becoming. You don't manifest from memory, you manifest from imagination. And imagination is not fantasy, it is a quantum interface. A bridge. The discovery is that every person is a chrononaut, whether they know it or not. Every decision is a timeline shift. Every emotion is a frequency change. Every new belief is a portal. We are not trapped in the worlds that shouldn't exist. We are trapped in the worlds we keep recreating. But once you realize the discovery, you gain access to something extraordinary. The power to choose a different world. If discovery opens the door, the method is what allows you to walk through it. Chrononauts don't bend time with machines, equations, or wormholes. They bend time with consciousness. With intentionality. With alignment. With consistency. The method is not complicated, but it is powerful enough to shift the very architecture of your reality. It begins with step 1, temporal awareness. This is where you become conscious of which timeline you're currently feeding. Are your thoughts looping old traumas? Are your emotions attached to past versions of yourself? Are your decisions shaped by fear-based narratives inherited from family, society, or past failures? Temporal awareness means catching yourself when you slip into old timelines and choosing not to energize them. Step 2 is future identity lock-in. This is the phase where you choose a specific version of yourself in the quantum field. Not a vague, better me, but a precise, detailed, emotionally vivid future identity. You must feel this version of yourself so clearly that your brain begins rewiring as if the transformation already happened. In neuroscience, it's called neuroplasticity. In spirituality, it's called embodiment. In quantum physics, it's called collapsing the probability wave. In plain language, it means becoming the person your future needs you to be. Step 3 is emotional frequency calibration. Emotion is the currency of the quantum field. Fear brings you into timelines of loss. Shame brings you into timelines of stagnation. But gratitude, courage, and self-love elevate you into timelines of expansion. You must train your nervous system to match the emotional frequency of your future self. This is done through breathwork, visualization, somatic release, and micro-choices that align with your new identity. Step 4 is parallel timeline release. You cannot step into a future timeline while dragging old ones behind you. This step involves letting go, deeply, fully, courageously. Releasing resentment. Releasing old narratives. Releasing identities that no longer serve you. Many begin crying during this phase. Many feel sudden peace. Many feel weight lifting off their chest. This is the moment when the past stops defining you. Step 5 is anchored action. Quantum manifestation is not passive. You must act in alignment with your chosen timeline. Not random action. Not desperate action. Anchored action. The actions your future self would take. The decisions your empowered self would make. The communication your confident self would express. This is where breakthroughs begin appearing in the physical world. Practical exercise. Tonight, sit in a quiet room. Close your eyes. Breathe slowly. And ask one question: what does the version of me who already succeeded want me to do next? Write down the first answer. Then do it within 24 hours. This is how you shift timelines. The method works because it is built on a simple truth. Energy aligns before reality does. Your frequency creates your future. Your identity directs your timeline. Your choices anchor your destiny. This is the method of the Chrononauts. And if you practice it, reality will begin bending in your favor. Transformation doesn't announce itself. It arrives slowly, subtly, and then all at once. The timeline you choose begins weaving itself into your outer world like threads pulled by an invisible hand. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. People enter your life with perfect timing. Intuition becomes louder. Obstacles dissolve. You feel a shift within yourself that is impossible to explain but impossible to deny. Sarah experienced this. She had spent years battling anxiety, financial hardship, and abandonment wounds. When she began timeline work, nothing changed at first. She doubted the method. She doubted herself. She doubted the universe. But she kept practicing, even when it didn't feel like anything was happening. She kept locking into her future identity. She kept raising her emotional frequency. She kept releasing the versions of her that were built from pain, fear, and scarcity. And then, one morning, she woke up and realized she wasn't afraid anymore. The anxiety that had ruled her life for a decade was gone, not fully, but enough. Enough to make a decision her old self never would have made. Enough to say yes to a new job. Enough to reach out to new people. Enough to trust that she was being guided. Her transformation didn't begin when the world changed, it began when she changed. This is the nature of timeline transformation. Your external world adjusts to match your internal identity. One of the biggest signs of transformation is synchronicity. You start seeing repeating numbers, 111, 222, 555, like the universe is sending signals. You overhear conversations that answer your questions. You see signs that feel handcrafted for you. These are not coincidences. They are confirmation. Indicators that you have stepped onto a new timeline. Another sign is resistance. When you shift timelines, the old timeline tries to pull you back. Old habits resurface. Old fears whisper. Old relationships test your boundaries. This is not failure. This is friction created by transformation. The universe tests whether you will choose your old identity or your future one. Every time you choose the future, the transformation deepens. And then comes the breakthrough moment, the quantum snap. The moment where reality suddenly rearranges itself. For some, it's a job offer. For others, it's a soulmate connection. For many, it's internal peace so profound they no longer recognize their old self. This moment is what chrononauts call timeline locking, when your old timeline collapses and the new one becomes your dominant reality. Practical exercise. Tonight, write a letter from your future self to your current self. Describe your new life in detail, where you live, what you've achieved, how you feel, who surrounds you. Write it as if it already happened. Read it every morning for 7 days. This anchors your transformation. Transformation is not magic. It is not chance. It is alignment. It is identity. It is quantum law. When you change your frequency, the timeline matching that frequency becomes your home. This is the destiny you were always meant to live. Every chrononaut reaches a moment where their transformation is no longer just personal, it becomes a mission. A calling. A responsibility to help others awaken to their own power. Because once you understand how timelines work, once you experience the quantum fabric of reality responding to your consciousness, you cannot unsee it. You cannot return to the old world. You cannot pretend you are powerless. You realize the universe has been waiting for you to step into your role. The mission begins with a promise. I will no longer live small. You stop shrinking yourself to fit old timelines. You stop apologizing for your gifts. You stop playing roles that were assigned to you by fear, trauma, or society. You step into a future that only you can access. And by doing so, you open pathways for others. Imagine millions of people learning they are not trapped in the timelines they inherited. Imagine entire communities shifting out of fear-based realities into love-based ones. Imagine the collective consciousness of humanity rising because individuals like you choose to awaken. This is not fantasy. This is the mission of the chrononauts, to accelerate human evolution through quantum awareness. Your mission has 3 parts. Part 1, heal your timeline. You must clear the emotional and energetic debris from your past. This doesn't mean forgetting it, it means mastering it. Transforming wounds into wisdom. Transforming pain into power. Transforming fear into clarity. When you heal yourself, you heal your lineages, your relationships, your future descendants, and your entire energetic field. Part 2, choose your future timeline intentionally. This requires courage. It requires vision. It requires the ability to imagine a world that doesn't exist yet, then walk into it anyway. Leaders, innovators, artists, healers, entrepreneurs, and visionaries all share one common skill: they choose the future before the world sees it. You must do the same. Part 3, help others shift. You don't do this by preaching. You don't do it by forcing anyone to believe what you believe. You do it by embodying your new timeline so fully that your life becomes a living demonstration of possibility. When people see your transformation, they will ask, how did you do it? And then you will share the method. You will share the discovery. You will help them step through the same door you once feared to open. Practical exercise. Ask yourself, whose life will improve when I shift my timeline? Write down the names. These are your mission partners. These are the souls whose futures are connected to your courage. In the end, the mission of the chrononauts is simple. Wake the world. Show humanity that time is not a trap, but a tool. Show them that destiny is not written, it is chosen. Show them that the worlds that shouldn't exist are only the worlds we settle for. Now, we choose differently. If you felt something shift inside you while listening to this, don't ignore it. That feeling is your future self reaching back through time saying, choose me. So if you're ready to become a chrononaut, ready to bend time, shift timelines, and awaken your true identity, then like this video, subscribe, and comment below. I choose my new timeline. Your future begins the moment you decide it does.